In this session, I will explain how to get a access token from Google OAuth URL by using API. By using that access token, you can call to any Google APIs. So before that, what we have to do, now some configuration has to be done in Google Cloud. So how to configure those configurations? Let's see. So first of all, we have to go to console cloud.google.com. So if you have a login in multiple Google accounts, so make sure like which Google account you want to do configuration. So you can choose over here. So after that, what we have to do? Here you can see that is select a project. So if you don't have any project, so first of all you have to create one new project. So how to create a new project? You can click this button, new project, and it will give you this kind of interface, so that you can give your project name and the organization, then you can click the create button. So in my case, I have already created one project. So let's see what are the configuration I did. I will explain one by one. So you can create a how many number of project you want. So in my case, I created two project. So this project I'm going to show you like what are the configuration I did. So you can click this project, so that it will be selected in drop down over here. This is the current project. Okay, so after that, click this icon, navigation menu icon. So here somewhere else you will see, okay, so quick access, you can go like API and services. So here if you click navigation menu, if you can't see like quick access API and services, if you can't able to see over here, so you can just click over here, you can see under quick access. So just click API and services. Okay, after that what we have to do, now go to OAuth constant screen. So here I created my app name. So you have to create your app name like in my case like white box training, and user support email. So this is the user support email, and app logo, if you want to give any app logo you can give over here, and app domain. So this is not the mandatory, you can left as it is. And one domain is required, like authorized domain over here. So you can read this when a domain is used on the constant screen or in the OAuth client's configuration, it must be pre-registered here. So you can give your like if you are working in a company, so company domain in your company domain you can give over here, or if you have like your own domain, so you can give your own domain. Like in my case it's like listen.com. So you can add like multiple domains, how many you want over here. So developer contact details, so if you are a developer, so you can give the developer email id, or any developer email id you can give over here. After that you can click the save and continue button. So in my case I did already, so I'm canceling over here. So after that, what, let's see, we have some scopes and a test user summary. So after that, let's see, save and continue. So here not required to do any configuration, so you can save and continue. After that, so these are test user. So test user means why I'm giving this test user. Now when you will click like one OAuth URL will come from backend side, and that URL it will redirect to the Google OAuth URL. So there you have to choose one Gmail account, so that Google team will verify, okay, so this is the correct Gmail account that you have configured over here or not. So if this is the correct Gmail account, then it will give you one code in the request forum. So that email we have to configure over here for testing purpose. So after that, save and continue. So this is the whole information you can check over here. So if you will feel like everything is correct, then you can go back to dashboard. Okay, so you can see like this is my app name, okay, and a publishing status. So this is a testing. So right now I created this account in testing mode, so that if once this account is uh, tested properly, then I can enable to the production or live. So you can read the information over here, like by keeping your cursor on this question mark. So in production and testing, so you can read their like instruction, and for more details you can go to their link to do further process. Okay, so you have to do first steps like over the constant screen. So coming to second, so credentials, we require some certain credentials in order to get a OAuth URL. So what credential, let's say in your case, if you don't have any OAuth 2.0 client ID, so we have to create one credential. So how to create a credential, you can see like a create credential button. If you click create credential, so it will ask you like a couple of options like API key, OAuth client ID, service account, and help me choose. So in my case, I'm clicking OAuth client ID. Okay, so it will ask you like which application type, like in which application you are going to use these credentials. So as I'm going to explain you like web application, so in my case you have to choose web application. So after that, what you have to choose now, authorized JavaScript origins, so it's not required in this case. And authorized redirect URI, so you have to add like one URI, so that Google can redirect it to your website by appending some parameters, so that you can take those parameters and you can pass to another Google API to get the access token. So you have to click this button in order to provide your redirect URL. So I already created, so I'll show you. So you have to choose this one. So this one I given the name like web client one, so you can give any name. Okay, so this is the name I given, web client. So in my case, authorized JavaScript origin, so it's not required. So authorized redirect URI, you can see like for use with request from web server. So here I given like a couple of URI in this configuration. So you can give like how many URI you want in your project, right? So this is my like staging environment URI. So this is one my local for testing purpose in my local, and this is another local URI. So you can give how many you want. So after that, click the save button. It may take like a 5 minutes to a few hours for setting to take effect. And make sure once you created, so we will be getting like a client ID. These are your client ID, and after that client secret. And make sure like this data should be enabled, correct? So that's it. So this configuration has to be done first of all. So let's see in coding part like how to get the access token. So here I have already created one spring boot project, and I am using Maven as a project management build tool. So this is my project name is Google My Business OAuth access token. So this is my spring boot project, and the project version is 3.1.2. So you can create like how to create like spring boot project. So you have a some id from id you can generate, or else you can go to like spring initializer to get the spring boot project. So I created like a few packages over here. Like this is the main class, like a configuration class, like what which is annotated with a spring boot application. And this is a service, this is a service, and this is the my provider service provider class. So this will be my controller. Okay, and this is some constant. So all those packages I created over here. Okay, so first of all, like how to get a OAuth URL. Okay, so let's see to their Google document. Okay, so first of all you have to go to like this developer dot google.com slash identify slash protocol slash auth 2 slash web server. Okay, or else how to or else you can directly type like how to integrate a OAuth 2.0 for web server applications. Okay, so it will navigate to this page. Okay. So here you can see like a authorization and using the OAuth 2.0, and make sure from this drop down you have to select using the OAuth 2.0. Okay. So after that what? So as I'm going to integrate in the server side web apps. So in my case, you have to choose this one, like access it to Google APIs for a server side web apps. So you have to choose over here. So you have other like from JavaScript side also you can do for mobile and desktop apps also you can do. So using OAuth 2.0 for a web server application. So you can read like this couple of instructions before proceeding further. So they are provided some like Google API client libraries for server side applications are available for the following languages. So if you are not using their client libraries, so you can use their APIs. So if you are not okay with their APIs and you want to integrate using their libraries, so you can choose your favorite language, and based upon that language you can import their library or dependency in your project, and you can integrate accordingly. So in my case, I'm going to show you how to get a OAuth URL by using their APIs. So these are the couple of instructions that you have to do. So as I already explained, like those are configurations. Okay. Okay, let's see. Obtaining a OAuth 2.0 access token. So you can read those instructions. So I already read it. I'm just going to show you like in coding directly just to save the time. Okay. So you can check like some few programming languages demo code they have provided over here. You can click like which programming language you are going to integrate, and you can see like a few codes. So you can copy this code in your project and you can use. So in my case I'm clicking like a HTTP REST. So this is the endpoint. Okay, so this endpoint we have to hit by passing the certain parameters. So what are those parameters? These are the parameters like client id. So this is the mandatory field, redirect URI. So this is the mandatory field, responsive type. This is the mandatory. scope, this is the mandatory, and access type, this is the recommended, and state, this is also recommended. So these are the optional, like include, grant, scope, enable, login it, promote. So these are the optional, you can skip if you want. Okay, so whenever we are going to hit this API, so you have to pass a certain parameters. So from where you will get the like client ID, the client ID as I show you over here. So this is the client ID from your project. You have to take this client ID and a redirect URL. So what is the redirect URL that you have to give? Now the redirect URI. So this is the redirect URI, like which redirect URI you have been configured over here. So same redirect URL you have to give to this parameter. Okay, so let's see in code how to do that. So I have created a controller with name like GMB OAuth controller. This is the like a Google My Business OAuth controller, you can say as well. And this is the endpoint. What endpoint? Now get OAuth URL. If I'll hit, so this is the my like base URL, and this is the my endpoint URL to get the OAuth URL. So again I auto add on a service, that service name is Google My Business OAuth service over here. And in the service I defined one method like called get OAuth URL. So let's see inside this. Okay, okay, so this is the main method. Sorry, this is the actual method which I am written the code to get the OAuth URL by passing the certain parameters that has been asked over here in this doc. Okay, so what now, few certain URL I defined over here like OAuth URL. So this is the URL I defined over here. So same URL they have mentioned over here, you can they have mentioned over here, you can see. Okay, so I defined over here. So you can put all this like information into another class. So from that class you can use over here. So first of all what I did now, I just created like a string builder. In string builder I passed like this URL. Okay, so after that the question mark, append question mark. So scope, so this is the parameter name equal to scope. So what is the scope? Now this is the scope. So this scope like you have to pass like multiple scopes. So what are those scope? Now this is the scope. So one is auth user info data profile and user info data email business dot manage. So in my case I'm passing the three scopes. Okay, so you have to pass like a scope, and this is scope you have to append or join by using space. So access type, this is the parameter name, and what is the value? Now offline. So offline means what? Let's see, like we have a few access type. One is offline over here and another one is online. So let's see what is that access type. So this is the access type, you can read over here. Indicates whether your application can refresh access token when the user is not present at the browser. Validate parameter values are online, which is default value, and offline. Okay, so set the value to offline in your application needs to refresh access token and when the user is not present at the browser. So this is the method of refreshing access token described later in this document. So which means, so why I'm giving like a offline na? Now let's say once you got the access token, okay, so we'll do uh, some actions in their APIs. So that access token is not valid for a long time, so it will be invalid uh, after a few seconds. So again, to get the access token, again you have to get the OAuth URL to get the new access token. So again you have to do login. So for that, so not to do that thing, so we are passing like offline. Okay, so online means again it will be redirected to the browser to get the access token. Okay, so that is the case. I'm using the offline, not to redirect by the user to the browser to get the access token again by login. So in my case I'm giving offline, so this is offline. The response type is nothing but a code. So what is this code? The code means, where is that yeah, response type required. So determine whether the Google OAuth 2.0 endpoint returns an authorization code. Set the parameter value to code for web server application. So actually what will happen now, once you got the OAuth URL, so it will be redirected to you to Google OAuth URL. So where you can give some few options to the Google, so that Google will verify from their end if everything is correct. Then they will redirect to your URI by giving one code, that is the authorization code. So this code, what is the need of this code? Now you can exchange this code in order to get the access token. So I will show you how to do that. So this is the code you have to give. The state, so state means actually this is what is the state. uh, State, this is optional. If you want to give, you can give the state. So I just mentioned one comment. So what does mean this state? Now why this answer? Now to maintain the state between your authorization request and the authorization server response recommended by Google. So you can see like a state they have given. So the exact meaning of the state means, so what, now if you will send one request to Google, uh, and when they will redirect it to your website, so you have to validate like what request I given, so that is the correct request or not. So to maintain the session between like your authorization or request and authorization server response, so you have to match this code. So this code you send to Google what URI, and when the Google will redirect it to your application, so from that application you have to check like what value I passed over here, so same value I got in my application or not. Then you will consider, okay, so this is the correct redirection. So you can give like state value any value. So in my case I'm just giving like some down value like Vasco store, you can give any value, no issue. So but this is optional, it's up to you. If you want to give, so just give. After that, the redirect URI. So what is the redirect URI? So this is the redirect URI. So make sure like what a redirect URI you give in over here. Where is it? In that configuration, so same a redirect URI you have to give over here in code, so that it will work. So promote like a constant and a client ID. So the client ID you have to give. So this client ID you have to take from your cloud console, Google Cloud. From that dashboard you have to get your client ID. So I'm giving client ID over here. So in my constant I defined my client ID, okay, and a client secret. So in your case, so if you want to give a client ID in a class, or else you can save those two clients client ID and a client secret in your DB, and from DB you can fetch, it's up to you. Okay, so after that I'm printing that is like over the URL. So this URL we have to redirect in a console. Okay, so after what will happen, once like you giving the constant to Google over the URL, so Google will verify from their end. So if everything is correct, then they will redirect to our application or website. So in that controller it will redirect to this URL. So you have to provide one endpoint over here in your controller. So this is the endpoint in my case. So in that endpoint, so what I have to give, let's see to their document, redirected to Google OAuth 2.0. So if you can see like some example they will provided over here, so you can see this example. So ditto same, exact same things I given over here. Okay, so exchange authorization code to refresh and access tokens. So once like once Google will redirect to your application or websites, so we'll be getting like a code, one code will be getting. So what is that code? uh, Scope state. So here they have not provided the exact information, so obviously they will give one a code. So here you can see what, so this code like authorization code returned from the initially request, so this code you have to get. So once you get this code, so what you have to do now, you have to exchange. So what they mentioned in the exchange authorization code for refresh and access token. So we can use this C code to get the access token, and to get the access token, what is the URL? So this is the URL, auth 2 dot google apis.com slash token, and you have to pass like a few fields like client ID, client secret, code, grant type, and a redirect URL to get the access token. Okay, so once you hit it that this API, so we'll be getting response what the access token will be getting. So expiry, so this will be expiry in seconds. The refresh token will get the scope, token type. So there is a few response they giving over here: access token, expiry, token type, scope, refresh token. So once you got this access token, okay, once you got this access token, so you can call any Google APIs. So let's say this is the one API, drive v slash v2 slash files, and this is the host and authorization barrier. So this access token you can pass. What you will be getting the access token over here in order to call to any APIs of Google. Okay, so let's see in code how to get that a code, and how to use that a code in order to get the access token. So when lucky Google will redirect to our application, so it will hit to this endpoint. So in this endpoint, I'm just extracting like the code under the state. Okay, so this code I'll be getting it from that redirect URL. So by using this code, I'll be getting access token. So that the code I have implemented in this method. Okay. So here I start. Okay. So this is the code and this is state. Okay, so what code so sorry, what state I'm passing over here, so same state I'll be getting in the redirect URL. Okay, so I'm creating on the multi-value map parameters. So in this parameter I'm passing like client ID, client secret, code, grant type, and a redirect URL. So what information they asked over here, so same information you have to pass. These are the information you have to pass. Okay, so exchange authorization code for refresh and access token. So these are the information I'm preparing as a parameters. Okay. So after that what? The application form URL encoded. So these are like content type. Okay, and after that uh, after that I'm creating like a http entity. So in that http entity I'm passing like the parameters and http headers. So in this case I'm using like a rest template to call the API from backend side. So you can use like a JavaScript client here, or is there a, if you have any client API, client library to call any APIs, so you can use over here. In my case I'm using the REST template. So this is the so once I've prepared all this information, so I'm using this REST template dot exchange method. So this exchange method is asking you like a few parameters. So one is the access token URL. So this is the access token URL. Okay, so same URL they have mentioned over here. You can see same URL. Okay, so after that, what is the type of the request? HTTP type. These are post request and entity. So this is the entity you have to pass. Just what is the response type you want to get once you call this method? So in my case, I'm passing a string dot class. Okay. So response type I will be getting. So after that, I want to get like what response type I am getting. So here I'm printing in log. Okay, so some few conditions I have written over here to check the data so that it's okay or not. So after that, what from response to entity I'm getting like a body. So this is the JSON format. So from this JSON format you can extract to get the access token by using like a object mapper or a JSON util if you have any library. So in my case I'm using object mapper to pass the JSON object. Okay, so let's see one by one. Okay, so I'm starting my application. So as the Spring Boot, I can run this application as a main method. By right click over here, run as a Java application. Okay, so you can see my server is off. Go to your browser, localhost 8080. Then after that, what? This is the base URL slash hit this URL. Okay, so hit enter. Okay, so you can see like after hitting that endpoint, so we'll be getting like this screen which is provided by Google. So you can see like accounts.google.com slash auth 2 slash version 2 auth, then auth choose account type. So it will show you like a few Gmail account. Okay, so choose an account to continue to Whiteworks trend. So this is your app now. Okay, so if you will be logging like multiple accounts in your current system, so it will display this multiple accounts. So you have to choose the correct one in this case, because as you have provided like this Gmail account like Bhaskar Whitebox at the rate of Gmail, you can see over here. So which Gmail account will be providing over here like test user. Okay, so same Gmail account you have to provide. Okay, for testing purpose here you have to choose. Okay, so let's say this one I have not provided. So if you click this one, so it will like access blocked. Google will show you. So you can see access blocked. White virtual training has not completed the Google verification process. Okay, access denied. Like this you will see. Okay, so if you want to provide like multiple users, then you can give like their email id over here, add users. Okay, I'm clicking like a Bhaskar Whiteworks, this one. So it will like a Google has not verified this app like currently this is in testing mode, so that's why it is giving this warning. So once your testing is completed, you can enable your app to production or live, so that this kind of warning message Google won't show to this dashboard or to this screen. Okay, so click continue just. So these are the information Google will show you, like what are the access you are going to give. Click continue. Okay, so you can see uh, here Google redirected to our URI. So what URI you given in that configuration. Okay, so you can see like a localhost column 8080 slash business dot connected. You can see like they have provided the state. This is the state. Okay, the state value which I given. Oh yeah, now here, so what a state value is given, so Google will redirect by appending that value in this redirected URI. Okay, so after that code, so this is the code, so this is the main code. Okay, by using this code you will get the access token. Okay, so this is state and a code I'm now getting in my backend code. So let's see. So here you can see what in console you can see got code and state. So I'm printing this code over the code. This is the code and this is my state. So you can like validate this state, like this state and that state is matching its value or not. If it's not matching, then you don't go for the step. So if it's matching, then hit the access token of API to get the access token. So you can see, so I got the access token information. Okay, so what access token, now you can see access token response is okay. There is access token, so this is the access token and expiry. So in this type this access token will be expired. Refresh token, scope, token type and the ID token. Okay, so this information you will be getting where, now in this call obtain access token info. So you have to prepare certain parameters in order to call to this access token API. Okay, so that Google will give you access token. Okay, so that by taking this access token you can call to any Google My Business API. Okay, so let's see how to call. In my case I'm going to Postman to call any Google API, Google My Business API. So I want to see the list of account. Let's see. Work with the account data. Okay, list of account. You can take this API, paste over here. Okay, as this is a get request. Okay, so what it asking, list of accounts. So that update account. Okay, let's hit it. Okay, so what it's saying, like a request is missing, required authentication credential. Okay, so we have to pass that a what, an access token. So how to pass? We have to pass in a header, write the authorization. Okay, the token will be, what is the token? A barrier. Okay, so you can see the token type is the barrier. So just copy token type, paste over here, give one space. Okay, so after that, copy this access token, the paste here, I hit. Okay, so now you can see the list of accounts. So how many list of accounts will be there, you can see. So in my case, I have created a two accounts. So this is my the original account, like Bhaskar Whitefox. Okay, personal verification status unverified, vetted state, and this is the another account of a group. So you can see over here like list of account. So you can call any Google My Business API which are listed over here. uh, for those APIs, so you have to pass that a access token in the header. Okay, so let's say if you are going to integrate like your Google My Business, like location data to create location, or to fetch the reviews. So for those APIs, so you have to pass access token. So that access token you can generate over here, and this access token you can save in your DB in order to call like a subsequent APIs. Okay, so make sure like before calling it to any APIs by passing this access token, so you have to check like whether the this access token is expired or not. Okay, so how to check like this access token is expired or not. So for that we have another API to get the lifetime of access token. So that is the API is nothing but what, access token info. So this is the API, you have to call to this API to get the information like whether this access token is expired or not. Okay, so let's test this API whether it's really working or not. Copy this. Okay. So I think already uh, okay, so this is the API. Okay, as this is the get request you have to call, and a parameter you have to pass what, now access token. As you are going to check a access token info, copy this field and paste. You have to pass as a query parameter. Okay, and copy this access token. So this thing you have to do in your backend side. Okay, so in this case I have not did, for time being I just explaining over here by showing you in postman. So you have to paste over here and hit. Okay, so you can see, so this access token will be expired like a 3082 seconds. Okay, so again if you will hit, so this time will be gradually decreasing. Again if you will hit, you can see 3059, 3054, 3051. Okay, so gradually it is decreasing. So while you are integrating any Google My Business API in your backend, okay, so while calling any API, so you have to check whether this access token expired or not. Okay, so once this access token expired, so what will happen, now you have to get a new access token by passing refresh token. Okay, so what is the refresh token? Now you will be getting refresh token over here. So this refresh token, Okay, so mainly in your case I will be recommend, so save this access token and a refresh token in your DB. Okay, so call like any Google API, right? So while calling, so you have to fetch like this access token from your DB and you have to pass to API. So before that you have to check whether this access token is expired or not. Okay, so once this access token expired, so you have to get the refresh token that you already have saved in your DB. So pass this refresh token to API, okay, to get the new access token. So these two access token and refresh token you have to save in your DB, so that it will be easy for you. Okay, so you can see 2964 second left to expire, 2961, 2957, okay, 2954. So when the like this second will be zero, so you can't get like this information. Okay, so you will be getting like status okay, and this response body will be blank. So in that case you will be assume what na access token got expired, so that you can call like a API to get the new access token by passing the refresh token. Okay, so how to get that refresh token, we'll check. So they have mentioned over here. Okay, the refreshing an access token, okay, offline access. So what information are required, you can see client ID, client secret, grant type and a refresh token. Okay, so let's test this API. This is the API. What is the HTTP type? This is a post. Okay, post. So this the fields we have to pass, client ID. So sample request and response they giving over here, you can follow. Client ID, client secret, grant type, refresh token. Okay, so what is the client ID and client secret? You can take your client ID and client secret from your Google dashboard, or if you will be saved in your DB, so from DB you can fetch and you can pass. So in my case I just hard coded over here client ID client secret. Okay, client ID client secret say done. What is the grant type? Grant type you have to give like as a refresh token. Okay, so as you are going to exchange this refresh token, you need to get a new access token. As this access token is expired, grant type will be refresh token. Okay, then a refresh token. So the refresh token that are returned from the authorization code exchange. So what is the refresh token? Now the refresh token which we got initially. So here, so this refresh token we have to pass. Okay, so let's see. First of all, so still we have it 2739 seconds left to be expired. Okay, so once this is expired, this access token won't work. Where is it? I don't see. uh, so this access token won't be worked, right? Okay, so once you get the empty response, okay, so that access token, this access token, it got expired, so you have to call the refresh token. So this is the URL or API where you can get the new access token by passing the refresh token. So just test this API. Let's see whether it's really working or not. The auth client was not found. So it's saying the invalid client ID. That is the invalid client ID. Okay, sorry, client ID. I have to properly. Okay, this is the client ID. Okay, the client secret will be this one. Okay, so you got the response. What access token expiry in this second scope, token type barrier, and ID token. Okay, so again you have to save this access token. That's it. This access token you can save in your DB. Okay, and this refresh token, what refresh token you will be getting over in initially call. So this refresh token initially you have to save, because in the refresh token, in this refresh token you won't get a again refresh token. You can see this response. Okay, so only you will be getting access token expiry. Okay, and other information, you won't be able to get refresh token again. Okay, so this access token you can save or replace this access token with the existing access token, and again call to any Google API. Okay, so let's say I got this access token. If I'll call to that account, get list of account, so I'll replace total and paste. Okay, so we'll be getting response. Okay, so that's all in this video. If you will have any queries or questions regarding this, you can comment in this comment section, so that I will reply. Yeah, thank you guys.